time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Hey, Loco sports fans. Max will be along in just a little bit, but got JJ and Wes, the OGs, with you, and we'll have Marcus Walsh joining us a little bit later as well, because we'll shift gears here in a little bit to the Lowco Pigskin preview. But this is, for the time being, the Thursday night edition of the Lowco Sports Lowdown, and we got other things to talk about other than football tonight, believe it or not. You know, a lot of football to talk about because we'll preview all the games coming at you tomorrow. But before we get to that, we have to deal with some playoff stuff from volleyball and tennis. But before we do that, the show presented tonight by Mickelson Law Firm, our all-star sponsor, our OG. They've been with us since the beginning, supporting Lowco Sports and helping us build this up so we can have a platform to shine a light on deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco who are repping the Lowco and making us proud. And we're proud to call Mickelson Law Firm our all-star sponsor. We appreciate them. They're our official real estate closing attorney and the official sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. But they can help you with all your legal needs right there in downtown Bluffton. Mickelson Law Firm, all-star sponsor of Lowco Sports. Wes Kerr, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. Whoops, I didn't mean to hide that. Yeah, happy Halloween. It's
Happy Halloween indeed.
Yeah, I was over on the call with my good friend Javon Livingston from Beaufort's Own. Got to call us
nice
for the May River Sharks as they cruise. I will say they went down like 10-2 or so early in that first set, but they woke up big time and took down the North Augusta Yellow Jackets the rest of the way in a straight set victory. Some fantastic work from Ariel Reek and Aurora Reek. The two sisters were dominant on the outside. Lauren Swanson was holding it down at mid-court or close to the nets. And then Mia Gruner doing a bit of everything. The serving was excellent. The execution was dynamite as the match went on. And let's keep these highlights. North Augusta up early 9-2 to 10-2. And then the Sharks able to fight back and rattle off a run of their own. And from that point on, it was all May River over at the tank on Thursday night. And it was a completely different team out there. I mean, going on that run, I think, really invigorated them. I feel like there's a little rust early. I mean, you haven't played for a while. You had to take a few games or a few days off because everybody else had to finish up their region schedule. So it kind of took some time away from them. But yeah, I mean, the Sharks were very, very impressive and probably looked the best that I've seen. Obviously, they did beat Bishop England, but they were in full sync and passing really well with all-out effort. And the defense was phenomenal. They're digging up nearly everything and just made it really tough on the lives of that North Augusta team. So pretty dominant effort tonight to start off the playoffs, and they will cruise into a second-round matchup coming up on Tuesday as they will get the right to host South Aiken.
All right. Get another home game.
Yeah. Hey, that's a benefit of getting that 4 seed because the RPI system worked in their favor. They
right.
Were in regular season to get that 4 seed to get another home game coming up on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I was about to pull up the bracket. So you said it's South Aiken. So I'm guessing North Augusta. What place did North Augusta finish in that region?
They had finished 4 because it was 14 or 4 against 13. So they were like one of the wild card teams. Yeah.
Right, and South will be 2. So this will be a pretty even
both
matchup.
teams will finish second. So yeah. Do Sharks group hunt like mammals? Well, they were in sync on the court on the volleyball court.
I think so. They like swarm, right?
Yeah.
So. All right, pulling up the bracket here. So we got Hilton Head apparently played last night because they already had their score posted on the bracket.
Like, I saw when we were calling the game, it was like there's no way it finished up that quickly. So I was surprised, but yeah, they must have played surprisingly a day early, and so
I saw it this morning on the schedule. So I think they played it last night.
Yeah.
And Hilton Head swept South Florence, by the way. So
Nice.
Hilton Head's on to the next one, and then
Right,
we'll
they got the sweep.
face Bishop
They
England.
will, Bishop England, who got by Beaufort, but the Eagles took the first set against the battling
Really?
Bishops. Yeah, it was a tight one. I told you that.
Yeah, you did.
Last time these two teams met up, it was a 5-setter, and Bishop England just got by them. This one was competitive as well. Beaufort won the first set 25-23. They dominated the second one 25-14, and they took game 3 25-22. It was a tight one again there, but then they dominated the fourth set to close it out. So yeah, Beaufort they were right there. They hung around as I thought they would, but Bishop England certainly the better team, and they showed to pick up the win, and now they will welcome in a region rival in Hilton Head, and that one is completely up for grabs as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I told you. It does that is an interesting one. That because Hilton Head is definitely peaking at the right time. Yeah. Oh goodness. We got a real treat in the green room, fellas. A Halloween treat.
So
it's coming in.
Yeah.
I reckon we're gonna let himself in. He knows where the door is. There he is.
No,
Cowboy Max. Cowboy Max is here.
Howdy there, fellas.
How you doing there, Bubba? How you doing there, Bubba?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk some football.
Sweet.
We got some volleyball
I'm intrigued about what's going on first with volleyball, but
I had lots of sweet treats tonight.
Yeah, you missed out on you missed out on a good one. You could have been on the Beaufort's own broadcast if you came over.
How about that?
Yeah.
I was passing out candy and eating a good bit of it. Are you drinking a bottle of Boone's Farm over there?
Yeah, dude. Good old Corona.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
There you go.
Cowboys got a drink, you know.
Yeah, Cowboy. Desperado. Why don't you come to your senses? Been out riding fences. Oh man, that's funny. But all right. Well, anyway, May River took down North Augusta, and they will take on South Aiken. South Aiken did beat Bluffton.
Yes, they did. That was a 3-1 decision as well. South Aiken getting by the Bluffton Bobcats. May River, we mentioned them. Hilton Head 3. That was last night. 3-0 or 3-0. It's soccer 3-0. 3-0 sweep over the South Florence Bruins, and then Bishop England 3, Beaufort 1. And then on the 3A side, Waccamaw took down Battery Creek 3-0. But the Bridges Prep Buccaneers, no struggles at all against the at-large York Prep at a 3-0 sweep over there. They will get Academic Magnet on Tuesday. That should be interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
That's an interesting little matchup. So if May River can get through, they will face another region opponent. In the next round, regardless if they can.
Yeah. So that's the thing that is going on with these different bracket format with the RPI kind of makes it so you have the opportunity for more region matchups early. And because so the Hilton Head Bishop England winner will play the May River South Aiken winner. So we could have a potentially Hilton Head May River lower state semi that's in the cards.
Right.
Yep.
It's a little higher level of volleyball than we saw today in the Canes students versus staff game.
Yeah.
I got some good passes up, but we didn't do much with them. I got some good serves. I did have some good serves, and I had some major errors as well because volleyball's hard, especially in Crocs because it was dressed like a student day. So I wore the Crocs and carried the dunks.
Nice.
So you don't crease them. But Max, tell us about this cowboy hat, Bubba.
Well, what do you want to know?
I don't know. I mean, obviously we just we wearing it for Halloween, but was there?
So what was the
rationale? Was there more to the costume, or was it just the hat?
Just the cowboy?
I mean, I did wear the entire thing. I had my my plaid flannel shirt.
Okay.
And then
Pearl snaps.
Yeah, man. And then some
Okay.
jeans.
I
Nice
was
pair
wearing
of
the pearl
jeans.
snaps yesterday.
Nice pair of blue jeans, and
Yeah.
I don't have cowboy boots. I did, but I don't have
Yeah.
them anymore, and they're too small for my feet. So
Yeah.
I don't have those.
I got square feet. I'd have to get some.
Yeah, I do too. That's one of the
Yeah.
things I struggle with. But
I can do work boots. I can't really do cowboy boots. Never
Yeah.
could.
It was either dressed as a cowboy or dressed as a golfer. I got my Titleist hat and like a nice Callaway polo shirt.
Golfers don't really stand out on Hilton Head, so
no, of course not.
Cowboy was the move.
Cowboy, yes.
Well, it was either that or I'd be like a rich boy that looks like he's got quite a bit of money, but
you could have gone as one of the All Blacks.
Dude, my dad mentioned that as I'm like driving
cool
home today. I'm driving home from work, and my dad mentioned it, and I was like, "Damn, I should have done that."
Did your dad have any old gear?
Oh yeah, he's got some.
Is that rugby? The All Blacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got I don't think he has his old uniform, but he does have an old like All Blacks jersey that I could have worn.
There you go.
That, and I know he still has somewhere in one of the warehouses we have. He still has his like old cleats from back in the day, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
it might be kind of rancid now.
Yeah, no, I think they're a little on the moldy side.
If they've been sitting in the storage room,
there ain't no air conditioning in that storage room, so I'm pretty sure they're a little bit on the moldy side.
Well, this was a pretty good win for May River.
It really was, by the way they responded early, and then they were just playing top form the rest of the way, and it just looked seamless. The way that they were passing and playing defensively, picking up the digs, and just pinpoint accuracy on some of those kills. They rarely missed those opportunities that they got, and aim percentage was sky high all night long. And on the other side, they did a good job kind of containing the best hitters of North Augusta, and when they got opportunities, they could not cash in on them. So May River with a much more complete performance in this match, and shows that they can handle anyone, and they are as good as anyone if they put up to their game in this lower state bracket. So I think it's wide open right now. I know Bishop England won the region, but I don't care. I don't care. Any of these teams can beat them.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, there are so many teams, apart from May River. You got it. It's always going to be a grind. No matter where you sit in that lower state bracket, it's going to be a grind. And one of those teams that people are going to need to keep a close attention to is Bishop England as well.
The Hilton Head matchup should be fantastic.
I'm intrigued to see how that goes between those two teams.
Yep.
And I think, just
happy little trees.
Paint a little.
I was Bob Ross for Halloween one year.
I could totally see you being Bob Ross. I definitely see that. All you need is the afro wig, grow out the beard a little bit, and then you'd be good to go. All you need is like a white button-down shirt and a canvas to take with you around the neighborhood. I could totally see that. Yeah, you look like you could be Bob Ross. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll have to find the photo.
Anyway, I mean, look, this, that was from the other day, I believe, from May River Hilton had gone at it.
Oh yeah,
and
it switched over.
Look, I think I like how May River's playing right now. I think they're playing really well. I mean, that's not a North Augusta team to wipe away. They're a very strong North Augusta team. So to take them on and win that is pretty good for May River, and tells me that May River's on the right track as they head deeper into the playoffs. And they're gonna encounter some tough opponents, but I really like how May River's looking right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, they play at the level of a team that can handle anyone pretty much that they would come across in this lower state bracket. In my opinion, it just and you see the younger players starting to mature and be involved as well. So it's not just those top players. But Swanson, she's always a beast up there. And I mentioned the Rick sisters. were both phenomenal. The serving was excellent. They were making it tough for that North Augusta team to respond and find their game. So if they can continue that and adjust to the way the other team is playing, and even with that early deficit, they responded and eventually blew them out of the water once they got their rhythm back. And that makes sense. They were off for a while, transitioning back after a longish period between the end of this regular season and start of the playoffs. So May Rivers, because they're looking dangerous, I think they can absolutely go on a deep run here. But I like their chances in the second round against South Aiken, especially if they keep the level that they played tonight going over at the tank. So, yeah, a lot of fun over there for volleyball. And then Bridges Prep really impressed me with handling the level that they did against York Prep. And they got tough with their own against Academic Magnet. Of course, Bridges Prep moving up from 1A to 2A. And so it's going to be a little more challenging. But I think they have a chance of handling it. I especially being at home, that's always an important aspect because they always get a good crowd over there. Undoubtedly, that new gym too. So I'm looking forward to Bridges Prep, seeing what they do, and then the teams that are left in this 4A bracket. So Hilton Head at Bishop England Tuesday night, November the 5th. South Aiken is at May River. And then Academic Magnet at Bridges Prep. So a pair of Lowco matchups on Tuesday.
Let's go. Sounds good. We had some tennis as well.
We did,
and you got out to the tennis. You got out to the tennis at where? May River?
At May River, because I was right there.
You did the double dip? Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did the Sharks fare?
It was a 6-love win. Everybody won their matches. So terrific effort there by the May River Sharks on the tennis court as well. At least that's what I believe I saw over there. So yeah, good stuff there from the Sharks all around. We saw what they did on the volleyball court as well. I'm trying to look up information at the same time to confirm while I'm talking about it. But yeah, great work from the May River Sharks all the way around. See if I can find
some highlights.
Yeah, I got some highlights. Yeah, 6-0. I keep saying 6-0. I'm prepping for a soccer game on Saturday. We're still in soccer season for USV, so I keep saying that. But 6-love is the correct format there. Yeah, 6-0. First round, and they will travel to Bishop England on Tuesday for round 2 in the tennis bracket. Yeah, I mean, I was only there for like half 15 minutes or so before the volleyball started, but some solid performances out there on the court, and the way they battled. There were some tough spots throughout, and I like the way those young ladies fought out there on the courts. So looking forward to what's to come from them.
Have you seen a Hilton Head score by chance?
I have not.
I've got a Bluffton score. Bobcats win on the road, 4-3 at Wilson.
Nice.
Got the dub. Let's see here. Tay and Kinsley Caney took the third set tiebreaker. I can't read that. Why can't I read all that? Oh, Taylor Welch and Kinsey Caney. Sorry, it was cutting off. Took the third set tiebreaker, splitting the first 2 sets and winning the tiebreaker 10-7. Taylor also won at line 2, and Victoria Borjas won at line 4, and number 2 doubles of Ms. Gusick and Alex Borjas. So that was the 4 wins. I guess it was that one doubles win though that put them over the top, right? That would be the clincher.
Yep. Right.
So big win for the Bobcats. They advance. I presume that Hilton Head got the dub as well. They had a favorable matchup, right? Forget who they had.
Yeah, I think so. It was against God.
I got it here.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah,
beat
Kevin looking, man. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Libby's correct.
Brooklyn Casey. Okay.
Brooklyn Casey. All right. Yep.
Let me see what we got. Have you seen anything on that? I haven't.
I have not. I checked before the show, and I have not seen anything about that.
I was busy handing out candy.
Yeah.
A lot of trick-or-treaters in the hood. Each year, I recognize fewer and fewer of the girls' tennis wins. I don't know what the score was, but I do know
they won. All right.
They beat Brooklyn Casey, so they advance. So it'll be Hilton Head against either Gilbert or North Augusta. If it's Gilbert, it's on the road. May River presumably going to Bishop England, and Bluffton presumably going to South Florence. So there we go. My boy, Coach G, Gear Babes. Kamari decided, I'm going to call you Coach G. Is that okay? I mean, you don't really have a choice. When they decide what they're going to call you, that's what they're going to call you, whether you like it or not. So, yeah, we got Coach G. Yeah, we're going to get a good God.
Good God. I do look like Jim Ross a little bit, don't I?
Oh my God. That's Marcus Walsh's music.
Honestly, I do look like Jim Ross, don't I? I just realized that.
A little bit. So MVP sponsors before we shift gears here. MVP sponsors of Lowco Sports. We got Base Hit Life. They've got all kinds of cool baseball and softball themed apparel, plus some other cool stuff out there. They got hats, shirts, hoodies. It was hoodie season briefly. It kind of isn't right now, but it will be again soon.
It will be soon.
Don't worry.
So get on to Base Hit Life. Yeah, basehitlife.com and live your best base hit life. And if you need a home inspection, the best in the Lowco are homegrown home inspections. They'll check it out, make sure you're good to go. And if you're building a new home, you got to have their phased inspection where they check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right with homegrown home inspections. If you know someone who is reaching the end of life and they want to have a pleasant experience, call on Hospice Care of the Low Country. They can tell you all about their palliative care, their hospice care, their free grief counseling, and much more at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And also the USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education, headed up by our friend Coach Beach. She heads up the Island Ambassadors Program. I teach the Bluffton Ambassadors Program. So if you want to learn more about the place where you live and how you can, be more involved and continue the legacy and the culture of the Low Country, get involved with the USCB Center for Low Country Tourism Education. All right, boys. Do we have any other things we need to deal with before we get into the foosball?
Yeah, I can definitely see the resemblance. I don't know about you guys, but I can see it.
Oh, you got Jim Ross up there? Yeah. Oh, that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we was going for right there. Yeah, baby. That was pretty much what done it.
Yep, that's what done it.
By the way,
pretty much what done it.
Head coach. They're moving on.
Yeah, Roger Wilson.
Talk to him again.
Oh, I just found another great. I just found another one of my. I was looking for my Bob Ross, but I just came across this other one that you might appreciate. This is another former.
No.
Groundskeeper Willie. That was Groundskeeper Willie.
Is that from like the Scott's commercial? Feed your lawn. Feed it.
No, that was from.
Is that from
The Simpsons?
From the Simpsons.
That's right. Sorry,
Groundskeeper Willie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's from Simpsons. That's hilarious.
I think Bob Ross was before that, so I should come across him pretty soon.
Don't worry.
Do we have anything else related to? Man, I don't see Bob Ross.
I mean, congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning the World Series, a comeback win too.
Yeah,
what a win by them. That's a way to finish off a World Series, isn't it?
That
inning. I mean, just absolutely incredible. Change momentum, and the Yankees absolutely thrown it away a couple of times with the error by Judge,
Garrett
of course,
Cole
from that fly
was
ball.
just standing there, man.
And then it just kind of all
here we go.
snowballed for the Yankees.
I got another one. This is still not Bob
This
Ross,
isn't it,
but this
but
was
yeah.
a good one. I
Looks
came up with this
interesting.
one day of, y'all. You know who that is?
Is that oh, what's it called?
This
I
was
have no
when
idea.
Modern
What is-
Family was very popular.
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I see that. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was
Um,
impromptu.
I want to talk about Freddie Freeman for a second because that man,
All right.
while winning the
That man
World
was
Series
on
MVP,
fire.
that man was on fire. But the season that he had this year was so challenging for him.
Mm-hmm.
From having a son who has been dealing with a horrible disease this year, and it's a very dangerous disease, and it's very sad for what's happened for him, for little Max Freeman,
Yeah.
and from that, and then hurting his ankle really badly, actually fracturing his finger. He's been through a lot this year, and more than I think I've ever seen him go through in a season. And for him to come back, play in the playoffs, didn't play great going into the World Series, and then absolutely just see that picture at the bottom.
Big players
That,
are.
just absolutely going crazy in the World Series and winning a World Series MVP to cap it off.
Is this one of the
What
best?
a great player.
I am not too. I mean, I'm older, but still, I haven't seen all 100+ World Series and every championship series in the history of North American sports. But this has to be one of the greatest championship game or championship series performances ever in sports history. I mean, he hit four home runs, one in each game, and not only that, but the big one, the Grand Slam, the first ever walk-off Grand Slam ever in World Series history, and the magnitude of that, and of course the historical nature of it to Kirk Gibson, which put the Dodgers on top then, and was really the spark that put the Dodgers on top this year. I can't think of. Well, I mean, obviously there are a few. Tom Brady, a couple of times, especially the time when he rallied from against Atlanta. That was one that comes to mind. I'm sure there are others. Hey, the Panthers are been the laughing stock of the league. So, but hey,
fair enough.
But
there's only one other. In recent years, apart from Freddie Freeman's performance in the World Series, like that performance really reminds me of Eddie Rosario back in 2021 with the Atlanta Braves and that run he had in the NLCS where he was absolutely on fire.
Right.
And like just a run like that is not something you see every day in baseball. No. And for something like that to happen, not just at the NLCS, but the World Series, it's got to be one of the greatest, World Series performances I've seen in my lifetime from a singular player.
Oh, I just saw a video that I might have to watch later. It's the title is Freddie Freeman had one of the best World Series performances ever. Tim Kirkjian. That's got to be pretty good. He's going to be real excited in that one.
But you just talk about the magnitude of this World Series, and Shohei Ohtani winning in front of the Japanese audience is going to do wonders for the game of baseball.
Oh yeah,
just a great influencer for around the world, not just for the United States, but in Japan and Asia. So that's a huge win for the game of baseball as a whole.
And I'm sure they were going crazy.
Yeah, that's a big thing as well. But to see two storied teams compete, and obviously I said Dodgers in 7, it ended up being Dodgers in 5.
I said 6.
Yeah, all right. But yeah. But it goes to show you that the Dodgers were. I mean, they proved they're the best team all season long, and you rarely see the best team win it all, just because of how the playoffs have been the last few years, where a lot of teams got knocked off early. But you can make case of the best teams. I'm talking about 2022 Houston Astros and now 2024 LA Dodgers, who.
Yeah, you saw that too. Holy crap! What a sentence.
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead, Russ.
Okay, I didn't know if Javon chimed in. But yeah. I was just talking about that. It's so hard to win a World Series even when you're one of the best teams in regular season, just because of you don't have much room for error and the
Right.
difficulties coming back after that bye. So it means something. I mean, no matter what the format was, it's always difficult to win in the postseason, but especially with the set that is now. And I remember they were down to the Padres, or they were fighting against the Padres, but they. I mean, I look back at a couple of some of the other guys, and especially Tommy Edman, who came through in that championship
Tommy
series.
Edman.
You always need that extra spark that you don't think about that comes up big in the playoffs. And Tommy Edman was that kind of guy for the Dodgers, and great for him, and great for that family. So that's really cool.
Yeah. It going into this playoffs. Realistically, Dave Roberts had some pressure going into this because really they've really underperformed in playoffs this of recent years, ever since 2020.
Yeah, and that was an asterisk. That was an asterisk year too.
Yeah, you can't talk crap about the Dodgers anymore because now they have a World Series under the Dave Roberts era that doesn't have an asterisk next to it.
Right.
I think that's what everybody's talking about right now is they finally did it where they played a full 162 games and won a World Series. Made it through that extended playoffs and won a World Series. And so you can't talk about it anymore. That was everybody's thing. And then the other thing was how much pressure was going to be on David Roberts going into this playoffs. Immense pressure. And the reason why is because the last 2 years, they haven't made it past the NLDS. This was the first time since, I believe, 21, I think. Yeah, 21, because they played the Braves in the NLCS in 21. It was the last time they made it past the National League Division Series, since 2021.
Roberts is a classic underachiever manager, but he did quite a good.
I think he did a
no,
great
I mean,
job.
like in game, he overmanages. He had the benefit in this series of going up against somebody who overmanages as much or more than him. So, like, they were both mismanaging the hell out of it, but it didn't really matter because it just canceled each other out.
It's just Aaron Boone, man. I don't understand, Aaron Boone's mindset because
neither do Yankees fans.
Yeah, apparently, because it wasn't even Boone's fault, really. It was the fact that team just made mistakes, major mistakes. I mean, everybody saw that play with Garrett Cole. Didn't even run to first base and just stood there while the guy ran first base.
Didn't cover first.
Should have gotten them. That out would have gotten them out of the inning.
And Judge whiffed on the one in center, and then they couldn't handle the force at third. It just wheels fell off.
Catcher's interference. I mean, just a bunch of different
just a bunch of
things, and it ruined your chances. You were up 5-0, and you lost that game 7-6. You let the Dodgers score.
And they could have sent it back to LA with some real pressure on the Dodgers. They could have sent it to
Game 6. They could have easily
sent real pressure on the Dodgers
because those first 5 innings, up until that 5-run inning by the Dodgers, it looked like the Yankees were going to win that one because of the way Garrett Cole was pitching through the first 4.5, 5 innings.
Cole's body language was so bad in that inning too.
It was terrible. It was just awful. I'm just standing there. I'm like, you guys have a chance to take it back to LA, maybe make this an interesting series, and you guys are just acting like it's over. Like, it's just, I don't understand it. And it frustrated me to watch that play happen while we were on air, too. So it's just, it's frustrating if you're a Yankees fan watching that because, they're not a bad team. They're a very good team. They're a very strong team. There's a reason they made it to the World Series. They got there for a reason. But I just, it's going to be interesting. Plus, Juan Soto's a free agent this year, and it kind of sounds like he may be out the door. I'm not sure yet, but it definitely sounds like it.
Kind of does. He may be going to the Dodgers. Dave is known for the world's greatest steal. Me knowing the MC Hammer 2 legit hand signs from music video makes me feel like a kid at a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. See, I'm so old. We went to Showbiz. We didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese. We went to Showbiz Pizza, where they had the Rock of Fire explosion.
Oh my God.
My computer is no longer responding, so I don't know what's happening. There we go. We're showing all kinds of stuff now. All right, there we go.
You still got to show us the picture, bro.
What's that? Oh
Man,
yeah.
Bob Ross looks like,
Yes, Bob Ross. I did find the Bob Ross photo. Some happy little trees. Some happy little trees. Yeah, I've done some pretty good ones over the years.
That is some good. Got some good ones.
Didn't get too good tonight. But are we ready to finally talk some foosball?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Let's talk some foosball. This guy has been waiting in here forever. But
he's been
hey,
laughing
Max,
his
can
butt
I
off.
get a oh my God? Is that Marcus Walsh's music?
Does Marcus Walsh have music? What?
No, I just need you to say oh my God, like Jim Ross.
Oh my God, is that Marcus Walsh's music?
Oh my God, it is. There he is. It's Marcus
Oh,
Walsh,
yeah.
WHHI TV.
What's up,
I
fellas?
guess I could have played your music and played the
I thought you were going to
just
do
play,
the intro
just
after
play,
that.
just play the Rated R Superstar music. I think that's what Marcus Walsh.
That was a missed opportunity. I thought you were going to do.
Or I could have just played that.
I see
There
clearly.
Oh, goodness. What's up, guys?
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I do have to say, I've gone as Bob Ross for Halloween twice.
I
can
remember
see
that.
A few years ago, Coconut Sports Bar at the Hilton Head Beach and Tennis had a Halloween costume event where you show up in your costume and you got a chance to win money. I think there were just like two of us that showed up actually in costume, so I won a $10 gift card.
Dang.
And then last year, Sam and I went as to her dad's house, handing out candy and whatnot. Myself as Bob Ross, and she was my happy little painting. She actually went on, I think it was Amazon, and got a dress which had one of his paintings. It was literally a dress of his painting, and we had a blast. It was awesome. But my
Sam
favorite
wore that T-shirt like the ultimate teammate.
That's right. One of my favorites of all time was when I was, I believe, in fourth grade. I had a jacket and slacks. My mom made me wear a sweater, which pissed me off. I had a shirt and solid color tie on. She got one of those fake beards. This was before I could actually grow a beard or had any semblance of gray hair. And she cut it up and put bobby pins in it. And I went as Regis Philbin, the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And instead of saying, Happy Halloween, I did the whole spiel. Who wants to be a millionaire? Let's go.
Nice.
That was spot on.
Give me $1 million bucks or your candy.
Yeah, before we get into the scores, I gotta get serious here. So hold on 1 second. Take this off.
Oh, you taking it off? I like
Put this one on.
Yeah,
all right, we're good to go.
It's time.
Good,
hey, it's time to go loco, isn't it?
Oh. There it is. Yeah, it's time. It's time. There's it. Oh my God, that's his music. All right, boys. So, which way we want to go through this time? We want to go backwards. We want to save the biggies for last.
Let's do it, man. Let's save the best for last.
Whichever.
Let's just
we want to keep people waiting. I'm starting at the bottom, boys. We're starting first with the one we usually save for last. It's the granddaddy of them all in 8-man. It's Cross Schools making the return trip to Conway Christian.
You are lucky.
Stingrays got the dub the last time they met. Conway Christian's losing streak has been extended since the last meeting. Got to be one of the longest in the country. I mean, I don't know about you boys, but I'm all over the Stingrays in this one. Go Cross. They're going on the road. Get that dub.
I completely agree. Without question. Cross going to get it done again.
They're running it up.
They ran it up, and they were able to have a great first win against these guys earlier on in the year. I'm going to say we're definitely going to see another Cross victory. They're going to get to win number 2 on the year and take Conway Christian to 0-10. Let's go Cross. Stingrays all the way.
It's more like 0-50 something because they haven't won a game in like 3 years or something like that.
Yeah,
look,
much longer.
I'm taking the Stingrays. Give me their second win on the year. I think they win big time again. From what I saw, from what I could see from video footage and stuff like that at City Hall earlier in the year, I think crosses, believe it or not, outmatched, against, overmatched, I guess would be the word to use.
Yeah, they will overmatch.
Yeah, they will overmatch Conway Christian, win this one big time.
Yeah, Conway is now 1-50 all time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my.
been a
Good.
tough go of it. They've lost what's that? 34, 44, 45 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He's-
And,
Make it
no,
46.
hold on. 45, 46, 47, 48 in a row. I'm sorry. I was counting
Yeah.
from the wrong end of that
All right,
season.
well then make it 49 in a row, man. I
Right.
think we can cross that one off for Friday. It would be great, honestly. I hate saying that because I would love to see Cross win this game, but it would be intriguing to see, Conway win this one and see
no
what the
question.
celebration that happens.
Yeah, that one must have been super sweet. It was back in 2019 though. So it's been.
And I believe that was their first season as a football program too. So
Well, there's now one game listed in 2018, so I'm not sure where
I
that
don't
came
know.
from. The Stricklander would be able to give us a more definitive count on the losing streak.
That's true.
But I do know it's extensive, and so I like the odds for the Stingrays in this one. I think they've been moving in the correct direction this season. So we're taking the Stingrays. We're all in consensus on Cross getting another dub. Let's see. I like losing to a girl in wrestling. Losing to a girl in wrestling is
Hey, no
tough.
shame nowadays because there are some
No.
strong
shame at all.
wrestlers.
It depends on the girl, obviously, but it's
I
still
wouldn't want to face Estrada.
not a
Let's
good
put it that
feeling.
way.
Yeah,
It's not a good feeling. You don't want
I don't want it to happen, but there are.
Yeah,
some...
I don't want to face Estrada. I'm just letting y'all know
Absolutely.
that.
Oh yeah, nobody does. Truman did wrestle one girl last year, and he took care of her. But we watched that little girl beat another little boy, so that definitely helped.
Especially for the
stay focused.
younger boys. You only get humbled
Serious,
by.
man. Yeah,
she was tough, and her brothers were crazy pole vaulters at USCB. So I warned him. I was like, "Hey, now, this girl comes from wild stock. Don't sleep on her." But enough about wrestling. We'll be talking wrestling soon enough on the Lowco grind. But let's get back to these games. We got this one is not being played. Actually, it's a forfeit. Faith Christian forfeiting to Carlton Prep. So Carlton Prep gets the week off and goes into the playoffs riding high. And we've all talked about how we feel like
that's a nice time bye week. It's kind of cool that you get that extra week off to reset.
It's just a bummer because I think it was supposed to be their senior night and they're not going to get a home playoff game. So
we talked about that earlier.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have a senior game. I mean, I would make it like its own. Don't do that because then and you have. Yeah,
but I think Faith Christian at this point had already called it a season as it was.
Yeah.
So it was kind of tough convincing them to play football.
That's why I take back my prior argument. I don't mind do senior day earlier because you just don't know what can happen. So I
agree I agree and I disagree with you on the statement of yes, it's nice to have a bye week, but also the week before playoffs, you would like to have a game under your belt a week before playoffs. So you stay.
I think it depends. I think with their situation right now, with everything rolling good, I think a bye is fine. I think if you're working through some things and you felt like you needed to get some stuff straight, maybe you'd rather play. Now, I mean, Faith Christian was going to be a walkover for them anyway, so it would have been kind of get your guys some reps and then get them out of there. Yeah, I think it would have been okay, but I don't think a bye is a bad thing when you got it rolling good.
No,
I think it's fine. I mean, obviously the teams in the NFL playoffs want to have a bye,
right? And only one
so
gets it now, and they're probably.
I think there is benefit to it.
Right.
Yep.
So, but anyway, Carlton gets a bye. They'll get to rest up and be healthy for the playoffs. We got a pretty good little rivalry. Andrew Jackson and Patrick Henry Andrew Jackson's going through it this year, but Patrick Henry's kind of been going through it lately too. So,
Yeah.
I don't think this is a slam dunk of a game, but I do like Patrick Henry in this one, especially at home. Presumably their senior night.
Yeah.
And they tend to play pretty well there. So I'll take the Pats on top.
I'm going to take them too. They really have shown a lot in some key moments this year. I know they've had some injuries, and Michael Tucker Mathis has been up and down with his health a little bit there too. But I think that Patrick Henry is going to bring it all together against an Andrew Jackson team. And regardless of the records, when you get a rivalry like this, you can throw that stuff out the window. But I just really like the upside to this Patrick Henry team. I'll take the Pats.
I do have a question. Is PHA in the playoffs?
Yes. They'll be the 4, right?
Yeah, they'll be the 4 seed. Although I guess if they lost this game, they could maybe somehow not be. Maybe. No. Well, yeah, it could make a 3-way tie with them, Faith Christian, and Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, Faith Christian's pretty much done.
Faith Christian lost to him, right? They Patrick Henry beat Faith Christian.
Yeah, but Faith beat Andrew Jackson. So if Andrew Jackson beat Patrick Henry, then
they'd have
the 3-way tie. Yeah, so it depends on the tiebreaker. I don't think that'll happen. I mean, possibly, but
I think. I think PHA is winning this game, but obviously, from what it sounds like, it could be a crucial game too if they do lose.
Yeah, they need to win it.
They need to win that one. And I think they will. It's senior night. These boys want to play their, final regular season home game, the best they possibly can. And I think they will. I think Michael Tucker Mathis will show up along with the rest of that team, find a way to run the football efficiently. And if they can do that, they shouldn't have a problem for me against Andrew Jackson.
No.
So I'll take PHA. I think they win it. I'll give Andrew Jackson a little bit of, a benefit of the doubt here. I'll give it a 14-point game in favor of PHA.
Yeah, I think like 14 to 21 sounds about right. Something like that. They, Andrew Jackson didn't put up much of a fight last 2 weeks against BA and Thomas Hayward, and Patrick Henry put up good fight against both those teams. So I expect that they'll be able to get it. Andrew Jackson won the Battle of New Orleans with horrible diarrhea atop a very loyal horse.
Oh my God, Kevin!
I'm dead.
Kevin getting into the real stats now.
We need to get him on.
Can we get a fun fact about Patrick Henry too, please? Look one up for us.
You got it, Kev. I believe in you.
I need
Patrick
Kevin
Henry
on this show. Forget him making comments. I need him for one night on this show.
And then you can start working on your Thomas Hayward one after that.
Wait till basketball season, Max, because Kevin calls games with me.
Oh, God.
I'll make sure that he gets on for the Lowco Hoops Report with me.
That's how your mom dribbles balls better than you ended up on the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just wait, buddy. It'll happen.
Oh, gosh.
But
that comment's never going to go away, ever.
Thomas Hayward at Buford Academy. This is a game that Marcus Walsh will not be in attendance at, but will magically call the play-by-play for from the studio later. Patrick Henry, by the way, was born May 29th, 1736.
There you go.
And
thanks.
And can also pass for 2 first names or 2 last names, which Justin Jarrett can pass for both. I hear a lot about that. Gemini's twin. Aquemini. Gemini's twin, Aquemini.
Justin?
There could be. I get called Jarrett a lot. People ask me, wait, are you Mr. Justin, Mr. Jarrett? What's your last name? So, I get a lot of that.
All right.
But anyway, Thomas Hayward, Buford Academy, Donnybrook on Ladies Island. You're going to be calling this one remotely from the studio after the fact. So
in a couple of weeks.
I don't know how you're going to avoid spoilers for this.
Well, I'm not planning to, and that will only help, the call. But I can give a key. I mean, I've seen Thomas Hayward a couple of times this year, and they look even better, dare I say, than they have in other years because of the fact that they've got some extra guys that are on like another level, in my opinion. We were talking so much about Tony O'Banner, and then all of a sudden it's like,
It's not a
whoa,
one-man show anymore. There's other guys that are. They're the guys
some
who
other
are
guys that
showing
could do some things.
Yeah,
And I
that
mean,
makes it
Young
a whole.
certainly is one of them on offense. Robinson, of course, is a great player on defense, can do some things offensively as well. Gibson had a huge game additionally against JP2. It's obviously a great matchup. I think this game's going to be neck and neck. It's going to come down to who can make stops. Bottom line, this is a legitimate, offensive line, defensive line. Bring your lunchbox because it's going to be a slobber
I
knocker.
think I agree. And I think for that
I
reason,
want to say this. I don't necessarily think it's going to be low scoring. There are going to be some points.
right?
Put up.
No, yeah, no. I think both teams are going to get theirs. I do
Yeah.
think Hayward's defense is a little more solid, a little more.
I would agree with that.
They're really strong and
deeper, a little bit more.
Yeah. I feel like, but I will
Both
say,
is good.
Buford Academy's offense is a little more dynamic, a little more not dynamic, but a little more multidimensional.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
They could do a
I
little
mean,
bit
you
more.
mentioned,
No.
yeah, you mentioned the
Especially
players
with those
for.
seniors.
Hmm?
What are you saying, Max?
Good. I mean,
Yeah,
you mentioned, Tony and Banner and, Nick Robinson, those
Colton
players
Young.
for coming.
Young.
Yeah, Colton Young. Sorry, I was trying to remember Colton Young's
Josh
name.
Gibson.
Yeah, Josh Gibson.
Yep.
Yeah,
We got guys everywhere.
Players, but Buford Academy has them
everywhere.
too. You got the Shuford brothers. You got
Of
Nick
course they do.
Underwood. You got Devin Fripp. You got a number of players on that Buford Academy team that can ruin your night. And so I think that I agree with Marcus. This game is going to be interesting.
It's going to be a true independent bowl.
But this game is also a big one too, and the reason it's so big is because the winner wins the region. This is the region title game.
This is the region
title. This is a big
Home
game.
field.
Home field.
Yeah,
Home
so
field to the championship.
The state championship game.
Yeah, and I also
it's huge.
It is huge, and it's a real toss-up too.
And then you also have, layers to this, and there may be folks who are newer to the Lowco who don't understand the history here. But Nick Shuford, head coach at BA,
Right.
his son Dietrich is the quarterback. His son Nick Jr. is a
Hayward.
receiver. He's a Thomas Hayward alum and was the coach at Thomas Hayward for a long, long time and won a whole bunch of state championships there. And then everybody was kind of blindsided when he announced that he was jumping over to BA. Dietrich going with him obviously for his last 2 years of high school, and they knew
taking
Nick
over
was
for a
coming
great
up.
coach,
So,
Mark Clifford.
Yeah. Nobody really saw that coming, and so it was kind of a big splash when they announced that. So there's a lot of depth to this. This is obviously already a rivalry, although the football rivalry is pretty nascent because BA didn't have a program for the longest time, and there was 8-man, so they really hadn't played each other until recently. But the schools have been rivals for a long time, so there's a lot of depth to this one. It's going to be a really good matchup. Has anyone made an official pick yet? I
have not.
Not yet. I'm obviously not making.
Yeah. Marcus isn't going to pick, obviously, but I'm leaning Hayward. I'm leaning Hayward. I just think that defense is really, really strong. I think they're going to be able to get one or two more stops,
and
I
that's
think
key.
that's
Who's going to get those big turnovers or that important interception? I'd think it's more likely that Hayward either gets the big turnover or forces that big fourth down stop as it goes along. I just think they have a little bit more Pinckney, Fripp, Robinson, Gibson, the freshman as well, who has shown himself out as well. I'm talking about Benjamin Gibson, who's looked pretty good as well. So, Thomas Hayward, they're a deep team defensively, or at least a better, more deep team in my opinion. Buford Academy is, but BA has, you mentioned they have a little bit more of a dynamic offense with a guy like Shuford under center, a few different outlets. But I think Hayward will provide that defensive strength that we have seen throughout these last few weeks and make sure to come up with a little bit more plays than BA will. So should be a great game. I like Thomas Hayward a little bit more than I like Buford Academy, but this is what you love to see. And a lot of history too. You mentioned with the times with the coaches. There's a big storylines in this game. So should be a tremendous evening over there on Ladies Island. Buford Academy gets the right to host it, but I'm leaning towards Thomas Hayward. It's not just Tonio Banner. It's like you said, the reporting cast has gotten better, and when they do get better, even looks more dangerous for when Tonio Banner gets the opportunity to break a run or make a big play offensively, and they have a good defense to match. So I'm going Hayward.
I'll say real quick, the only Buford Academy win that they've had in the rivalry, I called 2 years ago, the 31-27 game in 2022.
Right.
Yep.
And then they ended up losing the Carlton Prep in the playoffs.
Huge. Yep.
Oh,
that was an epic one. Both those
games. So much fun.
You know what?
First one was nuts.
Yeah.
Second one was great too.
Uh-oh. Max is getting an idea, you guys.
I'm taking BA. I think.
I thought you were gonna.
I like how this BA team plays. Yes, I do think Thomas Hayward has a more solid defense than Buford Academy, but I think that Buford Academy offense is just as strong, as that Thomas Hayward offense. I completely believe that, and I think if you're at home and that offense is playing at the best of their abilities, I think they can be able to take on Thomas Hayward. And don't forget, Buford Academy doesn't have a terrible defense. They have a pretty solid defense too, just not as solid as Thomas Hayward. But I like Buford Academy's offense in this game, and I think I take them. Oh God, it's gonna be close. I'm gonna take BA. This is a one possession game, 100% for me. I think
I could see that.
I think BA being at home, that fan base, that atmosphere is not something you want to be at. Being in terms of a football game, it is a crazy atmosphere over there, and we're definitely going to see them be at the craziest they can possibly be because of how big of a game this is. I like the fans behind BA. I like BA in this game. I'm going to take Buford Academy, and I think they win by a possession.
All right.
By the way, Max, which game are you going to? Are you going to that one?
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm going to the Christian Academy game for maybe a quarter just to see, get some footage and stuff like that because I don't think that game's going to be competitive at all. And then I think I'm going to head over to Bluffton May River to check out that game.
That's where I'm going to be.
The other game.
Right.
And
how about you, DJ?
Also, my car broke down, so I have to drive a spare car out to May River.
Bummer.
So,
I will be coaching softball in Oscar Fraser from 7 to 8:30, and then I will be hustling over to the Ville to its homecoming, and got to see my Canes finish off.
I'm not sure if I'll go to the Shark Tank or the Isle of Ladies.
Yes. If you like fish and grits and all the pimp shit, you got to go to the Isle of Ladies.
That's what I'm thinking because I'm not sure.
Since we're dropping Outcast lyrics, I had to go there.
Oh my gosh!
I was not
that's Kevin Libby's wheelhouse right there.
Wow,
that is Kevin Libby's weird
mic
wheelhouse.
drop.
That was the pimp-ish. That's what I said. If you like fish and grits and all the pimp-ish, everybody, let me hear you say, "Oh yeah!"
Oh man!
All right, moving on to the next game.
God, I love doing this.
Don't worry about it. All right, well, stay out of grown folks' business. But so yeah, we got 2 on Hayward, 1 on BA, and 1 on the call.
That's right.
And then moving along, we got Pinewood Prep at John Paul II. Not a lot of drama in this one, sadly. I think JP2 could come out and play their best game of the season, and they'd probably still get beat by 2 or 3 touchdowns because Pinewood's just on a different level. And we saw that. We saw the way Pinewood looked against Hilton Head Christian, and then Hilton Head Christian has handled JP2 easily
and we saw
twice.
how Pinewood looked against Wilson Hall too. So
yeah,
I don't
get ugly early.
I'm going Panthers.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Panthers big time. I think 4 touchdowns is not without a doubt there for me. I don't see. It's the last game of the season. I'm sure it's senior night for JP2 as well. So,
probably
that'd be a rough game to have for senior night, but that's just how it is. Unfortunately, I don't see JP2. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't score. I really think that Pinewood Prep team is just so solid on both offense and defense, and me and Justin saw that against Hilton Prep.
I think they score. I think Pinewood. I think Pinewood calls off the dogs pretty early, with it being the last game before the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think if they're up healthy at halftime, you see a lot of subs, and JP2 will be able to get on the board and make it look a little more respectable. But they just can't compete ones versus ones. There's just no way.
No way.
Pinewood dudes are, man, they got some dudes. So I like Pinewood in that one.
They're
and
right
then
one of my favorites for the 3A title right
clearly,
now.
like prohibitive favorites. And then the last SCISA matchup, Lowco on Lowco, Hilton Head Prep at Hilton Head Christian, has been a pretty lopsided matchup the last few years.
2018.
But there have been historic stretches in this rivalry, certainly, and hopefully we're moving back towards something like that. But we saw what John Paul II did to HHP, and then we saw Hilton Head Christian handle that team easily twice. So I don't think Hilton Head Christian will have too much trouble, but I do expect that Prep will come out and fight like dogs and keep it close as long as they can. But I do think that HHCA pulls away and makes it as ugly as they want it to be, which won't be too ugly because there'll be respect shown.
It's not going to affect my pick, but where's the game at?
It's at Hilton Head Christian.
It's at Christian. That's what I thought. Yeah, I saw them last week, and I mean, that team, and I said this to Daniel Court, obviously it's a 3-loss team, and we don't typically say that about Hilton Head Christian Academy football. I know they tend to lose a game or two earlier on in the year, but I told Daniel, because I interviewed Coach Ron Peduzzi before the game, or on our pregame show, and then talking with him, I said, Ron looks as locked in and motivated and ready to just give his guys a bunch of you-know-what as I've ever seen him. And I've been covering HHCA and, of course, all these teams for a long time. And obviously it didn't go well in the first half. A bunch of mistakes, penalties. There was some issues with just players starting to play out of control. And then come the third quarter, HHCA turns it on against JP2. And that Coach Peduzzi just went into his guys at halftime and said, this can't stand. We got to get after it and play HHCA football. And they did in the second half. Hilton Head Prep's had a great year. They're playoff bound, I do believe, and they have won some huge games this year. I'm thrilled that they've been able to do that. They've done a heck of a lot better than I thought they would do in year one under Doug McFadden, and that's not a slight on Doug at all. He's a great coach. They've got a great staff. I just thought it was going to take maybe 2 or 3 years to get things rolling. But my goodness, they've taken leaps and leaps and bounds.
I agree with you. I've been impressed by the strides made this year. I thought it would take
incredible.
longer.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I think Hilton Head Prep can hang around for about a half, but HHCA will come out ready to go. This is not like a normal year for either team. HHCA is going to have to play their best in order to knock off this Hilton Head Prep team, and I think they will from the word go. Prep will hang around in the first half, and then HHCA will pull away in the second half. I could see HHCA winning by about 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no,
a little bigger for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Marcus. I don't think Prep has, because Prep couldn't handle JP2 for 2 halves.
Yeah, they got steamrolled in that game.
That's a fair point.
They got steamrolled, and I think we saw what they did. Christian County did twice against JP2. I don't see this being close at all. I honestly see Christian Academy potentially scoring 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. I mean, look, I know Prep's going to come out with everything they have, but physically, Christian Academy is at an advantage. Physically, they're also at an advantage because they're at home. It's senior night probably at Christian Academy as well. So
it is.
I don't see this game being close at all. I say more than 3 touchdowns, but I think Christian Academy will probably put in their subs, I would say, at some point in the third quarter and let it ride through there because they're going to have to be ready for playoffs next Friday. They're gonna fight hard in the first half, and then I think that if they have a big enough lead going into halftime, they're gonna pull away second half, rest their guys so they can be ready for next Friday's game, wherever that is, if they're at home or not, and whoever they're playing. Because I mean, this Christian Academy team, like you said, it's a 3-loss team. They already have 1 loss in region play. They won't be the region champs this year. Pinewood Prep will be. Pinewood Prep will have home advantage throughout most of the playoffs, if not the entire playoffs up until the state championship game. Christian Academy, as of right now, they probably only have 1 home playoff game this coming playoffs, unless a miracle happens and they somehow get a home playoff game for the semifinals. I don't see that happening, but you never know. So they need to be extremely focused into this playoffs, and I think having the guys take a rest during the second half, I think, is the right way to go. So for this, I think Christian Academy, even with their backups in, I think they could outmatch Hilton Head Prep. So I think I take Christian Academy by probably 4+ touchdowns at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they could steamroll them bad. But yes, it is senior night, and it's senior night, a special one for Ian Kelly, the kicker for Hilton Head Christian.
What a leg!
Mentioned it. Here's our story, my story in the Bluffton Sun and Hilton Head Sun that just came out this week. But really cool story that I was able to write about Ian and his journey, and about his dad passing away 2 years ago Friday. So his senior night will come 2 years to the date after his father passed away, and that was really obviously a watershed moment in his life, and he ended up making the decision to transition away from soccer and focus on football after his dad's passing, and that was something his dad had always encouraged him to try. So he gave it a shot, and now it looks like he's most likely going to get an opportunity to do it at the next level somewhere. So going to be an emotional night for him tomorrow night. I think.
I can't wait to see where he takes his talents next. I'm intrigued to see what school he ends up going to, because I think he is a high D1 prospect in terms of being a kicker. I fully 100% agree. Believe that. So I hope he ends up landing at a school that's a high level D1 school. But if not, he will work his way up. I know he will. So
there's a path these days.
Yeah, there is a path. There always is.
There's always a path. But all right, well, we're gonna wrap up the Skiza here, and we'll shout out some more sponsors before we go on. We got the varsity sponsors of Lowco Sports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've helped us continue to shine a light on those counties in the Lowco frontier, and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor. He's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of Lowco Sports and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club this fall, and winter But that's our varsity sponsors. All right, boys, let's get into the big boys, the high school league. And we'll start it in Class 1A with the Hurricanes of Hardyville. Homecoming game tomorrow night against Allendale Fairfax. Allendale winless. Canes coming off a huge win over number 10 Branchville. Got everybody healthy again. They're riding high. I'm rolling with my Canes this week, and I have no reservations about it.
As the great Michael Ray guy, the longtime television guy for the Cleveland Cavaliers, used to say, you can, and I'm paraphrasing him, of course, you can book this one to the Canes of Hardyville. Gonna throw down.
Let's go.
It's gonna be great.
I expect this one to be a tight one, evenly matched. But Hardyville playing at home, senior night, they're going to be all energized. They're going to be ready to go from the jump. And I think they get to a big lead and are able to use some strong defense on Friday night to hold it down. I think the Canes send their seniors off with a W.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hardyville, Allendale has not had the greatest season. So, they've been a program that's struggled for the last few years. I don't see them winning this game. They've struggled a lot this year. I think Hardyville, with how they played against Branchville last week, and they played great against Branchville, getting a win against a team that's currently ranked top 10 in the 1A rankings right now, so that's a huge win that they had last Friday by Hardyville. So I think going into this game, they have the momentum. It is, I believe, homecoming. So it's a big one. And I do think Hardyville gets this one with ease, I think. I think they win big time. Give me Hardyville by 2 to 3 touchdowns.
All right. Yeah, I think so too. I do. What everybody picked? Wes, you got the Canes?
Yeah, I got the Canes, yep.
All right, cool.
Hold on with the Canes.
I was trying to find something here that I was going to show you.
Get those boys ready for the playoffs, man.
It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let me get it over to the computer and I'll pull it up. So we're playing Allendale, of course, the Tigers. As James Carville always says on Tony Kornheiser, the Tigers. Go Tigers. But here we go. This is from the bonfire last night on campus, which I slept through. There's Jay Ferg holding up the tiger to burn. So yeah, we're ready to torch the Tigers tomorrow night. It's a pretty great looking photo. It's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, right? It's very cool.
Reminds me of Ed Orgeron. Go Tigers.
The Tigers. All right, moving to 2A. We got Whale Branch at Barnwell. Whale Branch is headed for the 3 seed. If they lose, they could make it a 3-way tie for first if they win, and make things interesting. I don't know what the tiebreakers are because I don't anticipate them coming into play. I think Barnwell is just pretty rough, pretty physical. You saw them in person, Max, but they're pretty big, physical, pretty strong up front. Did a really good job against Hampton's run game, so I expect they're going to be able to slow down Whale Branch's run game. And Whale Branch does not have much of a passing game to speak of, so I just can't see them scoring enough to win this game. So I'll take Barnwell by 2-3 touchdowns. I think they can compete, but I don't think they have enough firepower to win it.
Spot on, JJ. You guys know that I've been bullish on a couple of teams this year, big time, and Whale Branch is one of those. I don't see them winning this game. I think that they'll give it the best effort that they can, but I'm going to take Barnwell by about 2 touchdowns. Just too much manpower for Barnwell in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, Garrett Wilson just made a ridiculous catch.
Ooh, good.
Yes, crazy.
Get me some fantasy points there, Garrett.
He's got 2 touchdowns tonight, so you're doing fine.
Yeah, I've lost
the Jets took the lead. The Jets take the lead over the Texans. That would be a shocker if Houston falls to the Jets.
Yeah, they're fresh out of
Probably
wide
because
receivers.
everybody's been taking a crap on the Jets this week. The Jets need to freaking show up
And
for a
Houston's
football game.
fresh out of wide receivers. Hey, they ain't won this
No,
game
they just
yet.
lost Stephon Diggs. He's done for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Nico
is already
Tank
out.
Dell. I told you Tank Dell was going to be the guy. And he's gone
Tank
4
Dell's
for
the
7.
guy.
Yeah. But they all much else other than him. Yeah. And Robert Woods.
I'm gonna say this. I think Whale Branch, while they've had they had a decent game against Hampton County, they showed what they could do for a half against Hampton County. I don't think they're doing this against Barnwell. Hampton County got the doors blown off by Barnwell. I think Barnwell will do the same thing against Whale Branch. I don't see Whale Branch making this game close at all. So give me Barnwell by 3 touchdowns.
I will echo that. Whale Branch has not encouraged me enough to where I'm going to pick them on the road. Barnwell by a decent score line, probably say about 25 or so.
Yeah. Sounds about right. All right, so we got Barnwell taking the title in that region. In 3A, we got Battery Creek at Hanahan. I believe with the win, Battery Creek, whoever wins gets the 3 seed, right? Whoever loses gets the 4, because North Charleston's the 5, they're out, and the 1 and 2 are going to be decided by OCA versus ODub. So this is the 3-4 game, basically. Again, if Battery Creek were healthy, if Chase Olson were playing, I would be really tempted to pick them on the road against Hanahan. But Hanahan is a solid team. That would be an upset, I think, even with Chase in there. But I would be inclined to pick it. Without Chase, I just, again, like Whale Branch, I just can't see how that offense is able to put up enough points to outscore them. I think Hanahan's going to get at least 24, 28, something in that range. And I can't see a Battery Creek offense without Chase Olson scoring that many points. So I'll take Hanahan by 2, 3, maybe more touchdowns. I think it's probably 2 touchdown game at halftime and then probably gets away like 28-point game, 35-point game even. That ends up more lopsided than it really was. But I think Hanahan's there.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. I just, without Chase Olson as the leader of that football team, it's going to be tough for Battery Creek to knock off Hanahan. They remind me a lot of Hilton Head Prep. They've had some huge wins this year. They've really, now this is the second year, of course, for Ed Suzy, and I've seen him both years. From year 1 to year 2, I've said this numerous times, especially because I saw Battery Creek twice. It's night and day. And I am so impressed with what they've been able to do, but just they need that spark. And yeah, they have Smalls and a couple other guys that are going to be able to do some things, we think, in this matchup. And as they go on into the playoffs, figuring they're going to be they're going to get their, you said either the 4 or the 3 or the 4. Right,
yeah,
JJ?
3 or the 4, yeah.
So they're in the playoffs.
They're in, they're in,
and they'll be able to do some things we think based off matchups that we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. Just not enough against Hanahan tomorrow night. I'm going to take Hanahan by 3 touchdowns.
My goodness, that was. They're just showing the replays. That was okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm gonna take Battery. I'll take Battery Creek, but it's going to be close if they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to support the Lowco, man. I know that that's probably not going to be easy for them. Derek Smalls is going to have the game of his life against Hanahan. If they do win, it's going to be a 1-possession game if they win this. And I got faith in them. I know they don't have Chase, but I got faith in them. I don't. This is going against my better judgment, but I'll take Battery Creek in this one, but make it close if that's the case.
All right.
I mean, if they win, it'll most likely be really close. That'd be a big upset. That'd be a great win. I hope you're right, Max.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd much rather pick this game wrong and Creek win than the
question.
alternative. All right, on to
Wait, I didn't make my pick
4A.
yet.
Oh, you didn't. My bad. I'm sorry.
I did not. As much as I'd love to pick Creek, they're on the up and up. They're on the rise. I will go with the Hanahan Hawks in a 7 to 10 point game. I think that Battle Creek will make it close, but I like the Hawks.
Oh, they blue and gold, Bo. Purple and gold, Whale Branch. Get it right, Bo.
I said the Hawks. The Hanahan Hawks.
No, I know. I was talking about Kevin Libby.
Oh,
Kevin said
Libby
purple and gold.
He said purple and gold.
By the way, that's a Garrett Wilson catch. They showed
ridiculous,
the replay
right?
of Odell Beckham when he made the one-hander
against Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm still not entirely convinced it was a catch, this one.
Al Michaels called that game too, by the way.
He did.
He's on the call tonight.
Big 4th down. Joe Mixon picks it up.
That was a Sunday night football game, and you were ahead of me.
He and Chris Collinsworth had that.
In the goal.
Yep.
And people were showing up and wearing their maroon and black. That's a favorite Tony Kornheiser clip. All right, so we've made it, boys, to the 4A trifecta. The first one should be a pretty easy pick, I think. You got Bishop England, who's in the log jam, the one-loss log jam. There's 4 teams. I'll back up a second. There's 4 teams here at 1 loss in the region. Bishop England and May River have 1 game left to play tomorrow night, and then Bluffton and Hilton Head have a second game to play against each other a week from tomorrow. So
I'll see that
Hilton
one.
Head, Bluffton, May River, and Bishop England all have 1
factor here
loss.
is the fact that May River has the head-to-head win over Bishop England, while Hilton Head doesn't, Bluffton doesn't. So May River has, if they beat Bluffton, if they beat Bluffton and finish at 4-1.
Right, so they can get in the clubhouse. Yeah, they can get in the clubhouse at 4-1 here.
Yeah, but Hilton Head.
There would still be a scenario where Hilton Head wins
Hilton Head. Yeah. Now, if Hilton Head lost to Beaufort, then May River's the region champ, because it'd just be them and Bishop England with 1 loss. But if Hilton Head, then it could get to a 3-way tiebreaker, which I'm not sure if this is true, but I believe the way, if it's the high school league points allowed system, Hilton actually wins that tiebreaker, but I'm not sure 100% if that's the one they use. That's the one that they show in the pamphlet. So I don't know if it's the right one.
My understanding is that those are set by each region.
Okay.
I don't know.
That sounds right.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
We don't know the exact tiebreaker. So, yeah, that.
I know that Hilton Head thinks, I don't know, at least somebody at some point Hilton Head thought that they were hosed on tiebreaker, but I don't know that they actually knew what the tiebreaker was. So, we're going to get to the bottom of all that, but we're going to wait until we have as much information. If you are a Bishop England fan, you are rooting for Bluffton to win that game against May River. You want Bluffton to win that game. Yes. Bishop England needs May River to take an L. May River, if they beat Bluffton, then they'll need Bluffton to beat Hilton Head, to avoid the 3-way tie. So it's there's still factors. But if Bluffton wins, then the bridge will be for the 2nd place seed, because Bishop England would have head-to-head over both. Correct. So if Bluffton wins, Hilton Head wins, Bishop England wins, the bridge will be for the 2 seed. Yeah. True.
It's gonna get spicy.
It's very spicy, very spicy. But this one should be easy. Bishop England coming in hot. They're at Colleton County, which is, in just out of sorts right now. So, I think this one's easy. Bishop England's going to TCOB here. They're going to be in the clubhouse at 1 loss at 4-1 and waiting to see who joins them.
I agree. I actually had a chance to get out to Colleton County this year to see them against May River a few weeks ago. Great environment at Colleton County. That was a lot of fun to get out there. Stadium. Awesome stuff. And they've got some pieces. Obviously, Coach Kinlock doing very good things there at Colleton County over the last couple of years, but too much talent on that Bishop England team. They've played really well this year, and I think they're going to go in and like Justin said, take care of business every day. To quote Robert Palmer, they're going to get after it. They're going to get it done. Bishop England with a huge win.
That's Bachman Turner Overdrive, right? Taking care of business.
Taking
Oh.
care of business.
You know what?
PTO, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Why was I
yeah.
thinking Robert Palmer? And I said that to
Robert
somebody
Palmer,
earlier today.
that's might as well face it, yo.
Addicted to love.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing they did all day long at the baseball tournament, the Dixie Boys World Series.
Yes,
That
that's
was
right.
That's right
Oh
in my
my
wheelhouse.
God, yeah,
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking Bishop England in this one. Colleton County has been disappointing this year, to say the least. You know, I had high hopes for them at the beginning of the year, but it's just been a real disappointing year.
The region's been good though. They haven't had the start wasn't as ideal as they would like, but this region is tough, and it's just they're still not at the same level. But
I think
in a route.
Yeah, I think Bishop England wins this one big. I say they end up going home with a 4-1 record, and seeing who will be joining them come
It'll be big
come Saturday morning.
Yep. Sorry, I was looking for a video clip that I will continue searching for. But we got Bishop England taking that one, and so then in the second leg of the region trifecta, we got Hilton Head at Beaufort. This is a game that on paper would look like a easy pick in Hilton Head's favor, but I think we're all a little bit wary of it, and I think Hilton Head is a little bit wary of this game
it screams,
too.
It screams Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah. But
screams Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
That is a great line.
That's a great line, Wes. Good job, buddy. That's awesome.
Yes.
Given Admiral Akbar.
Yes. Hey, I'm worried. I feel like the last few years I picked Hilton Head to win big games and they don't do it, and that's what scares me. Is even though Beaufort is a team that is on the stock down, they're depleted in terms of numbers because they did not look the part against May River. Hilton Head, you just don't know what team is going to show up because you still have an inexperienced quarterback that's prone to making mistakes, and Beaufort still has some guys that can hurt you on defense. That being said, I still like the Seahawks in this game. I'm not too worried just because of how they play against Colleton County. They've handled the business in front of them for the most part. They beat May River. That was the big one early. And you want see that's the problem is you look. It's easy to look to the next one, and you just gotta stay focused and play it because Bryce Labyrinth can coach. Beaufort's wanting to make a statement of their own here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Eagles can be competitive. I don't know. I don't think they'll win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of hang around a bit in a game like this. But I think the Seahawks still have a lot more. They're playing some great football right now. BJ Payne. By the way, the JV team's looking good too, so they got some more coming up in the wing. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks, my alma mater, to pick up another win and set the stage for a thriller next week.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward to that.
Off to upright. It's no good from Fairbairn.
Oh, Fairbairn.
I really think that as I was talking about what Ron Paducci showed me last week with his intensity and his ability to just be all business, all in the moment, especially based off what Hilton Head Christian Academy's been doing, over the last several weeks. BJ Payne's been like that all season.
Yeah.
And not to say that Ron
standing
Paducci
on
hasn't,
business,
but this is a different Hilton Head team. This is a different coached Hilton Head team. Obviously, getting a couple of guys back and setting a little bit of a new standard, especially on the offensive side of the ball, with the fact that they had 9 of 11 guys coming back on defense is one thing as well. But Hilton Head impressed me like crazy against May River. I can't wait for that game next week that I'll have the call of with Daniel Court and the rest of our crew. Bridge Bowl Take 3. Beaufort, you can never count them out. Bryce Lybrand, one of the great coaches in this area, and he's truly, like all these guys are, he's truly a terrific guy. It's been great getting to know him for sure. Hope he sticks around for a really long time. Great team chemistry and camaraderie at BHS, meaning Beaufort, but they've had the injuries and they've just been up and down and inconsistent. I hate to put it this way, but I don't see Hilton Head looking ahead to Bluffton. I think they're going to take care of business, and I think they are going to win, and they are going to win big. I do not see this being close. I really don't.
Yeah, I think Hilton Head's definitely going to win. And I think you're probably right that it's not close. I mean, the way May River ran over them last week, that defense is really depleted, and Cotting can't do it all. And I think that Hilton Head run game is going to be able to do much of the same. And they're even in some ways tougher to defend than May River, because you really do have to respect the pass. They'll beat you with the pass if you load the box. So
Yeah.
I think Beaufort's going to have trouble stopping them. And, Hilton Head's defense is playing well enough that they don't need a whole lot to get a win. So, yeah, I think Hilton Head wins this one pretty comfortably, and sets us up for a really good Bridge Bowl next week.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hilton Head wins big time in this one. I don't see Beaufort being able to handle this. I think I'm sure they're going to fight in this game, but I think they're going into this game knowing their season's pretty much done.
They don't have a whole lot left to play for. Although, there is an outside chance they still get in the playoffs as the 16 seed on the RPI.
Yeah,
because they have a really tough
and Gray
schedule.
Well, no, Gray Collegiate still.
Gray Collegiate got banned.
Did they? No,
No,
I don't think they did.
Gray's still in.
Yeah,
they
still
didn't get
still in.
banned.
Their coach was suspended for the rest of the year, but they are still eligible for playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't get banned. Well, because they only had one kid who was an 8th grader who played. I don't even know if I think he played in one game or something.
Yeah, so Gray Collegiate still eligible for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're good to go. But yeah, I think it was the right decision, honestly.
Yeah.
But Beaufort, I don't know. They're 31st in the RPI, so that would likely put them in. I would think if we're taking
if that's the
32. Is that right? Yeah.
Right, because there's are there any let me check and see. I'm trying to remember where the distribution is in terms of the seedings for 4A for the lower state parts. Okay, so top 3 or the 3 region winners, 3 runners up, 3 third place. There is a lower state at large who gets the 16th seed. There are 6 teams that are below 3rd place, so 4th place or worse. So 6 of those teams get in. The last spot was reserved for a lower state at. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So yeah, it's still lower.
There's
state
also an overall state at large as the 16 seed in the upper state.
Okay, so there could be another opportunity there.
They could get sent to the upper state.
Well, good luck with that.
16 versus one win wouldn't surprise a fan of cashing in bonds. I mean, I don't know. They could put all the magic together for one night, maybe if they got some guys back. I don't know. Who knows? They're a scary team. There's some electricity there still, but I think Hilton Head is. I think they're pretty locked in, man. I think they got their heads on right.
They're legit. I think
those guys are bought in.
It's the best Hilton Head team I've seen in a decade.
Yeah,
you gotta go back to that 15 team
without question.
Yeah, Singleton, Justin Morrow, a couple of those other Jets.
Yep.
Jeez.
And what it had, what's his name too? Hamilton.
Yep. Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty lethal team.
Hamilton. That was a solid team. Yeah,
pretty good. And then so we're all on Hilton Head, so they'll be sitting at 1 loss as well. Which of the Bluffton area teams will be sitting at 1 loss? We got the hometown showdown tomorrow night in the tank. We got May River hosting Bluffton in what should be a tremendous game. Contrast the styles. May River wants to run it. Bluffton wants to spread you out and throw it. Both defenses are pretty salty. There are a lot of hats to the ball type teams.
Spoiler, that was the key in my open.
I don't know,
said,
man.
I said, I've been doing a cold open for the last couple of years, and I said, it's a 5-5 record between these two teams. You can't really say that one team's had a definitive edge at home versus the road because they're both 3-2, or they've both won 3 at home, and they're 3-2 and 2-3 to make it 5-5. You take a look at the athletes that they've had over the years, and it's just everybody on the outside. The true key, we talk about trench play all the time, offensive line versus defensive line. If you want to get into the second level, you obviously talk quarterbacks and running backs, and you talk the linebackers. But the big key for this game is exactly what you said, Justin. Can May River stop the air raid of Bluffton?
Right.
And can Bluffton stop the ground attack of May River? And whoever does that the best is going to win this game. This game could come down to the last
I'm
possession.
not sure the answer to either of those is really yes.
Yeah,
I think it
agree.
could be pretty high scoring.
Take the over, folks. Take the over. And same thing with the other game that I'm going to be calling later on.
May River's defense is underrated and better. May River's defense is not to be slept on. I will say that.
I agree.
They played a whale of a game against the Buford Eagles, and
they were flying.
They were flying the football. So they got some dudes, and they were picking off passes left and right. They were just terrific bend but don't break defense. And Buford, maybe they don't throw as much as Bluffton, but I like the way they played defending the pass, and they got some interceptions, and they just looked really solid. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a scenario where May River's defense is the big story early, especially because we have seen Aiden McCarthy struggle. I go back to Hampton County game where Singletary picked him off.
If you can pressure him, you can. And then if somebody contains him running.
Yeah, but I think he's grown. He's grown that.
He definitely has.
Season when it comes to being under pressure as a quarterback. So I think while it could work, it won't be as effective as it was, towards the beginning of the season when they were playing, Savannah Country Day
and the other key is Holly, the run game of Holly.
I was just going to say him.
Say that, yeah.
This is going to be my first time seeing Bluffton this year.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max, real quick. This is going to be my first time seeing Bluffton this year, and of course, I'll see them next week in the Bridge Bowl, take 3. I cannot, and I know what Aiden McCarthy can do. I cannot wait to see Holly and what he can do because that's going to be my first look.
He's the key. He's the key for Bluffton because if
really
Bluffton can get that passing game going, that opens up the running game.
Yep.
And when you open up that running game for Cordell Holly, oh boy, you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble. That dude can run over some players. Let me tell you. He's not a small dude. He's a big boy. But he's agile. He's quick off the ball. He's going to be a problem if that run game opens up for Bluffton. If the passing game is effective. If that works for them,
big games in a row too. Had 101 and a touchdown on 13 carries against Colleton, 116 and 3 touchdowns on 20 carries last week.
Would you say that he's agile, mobile, hostile, but not fragile?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying here. They get that passing game going, and that running game opens up for them and becomes as effective as the passing game. I don't see May River being able to stop him if that's the case. Because I really see if they run on all cylinders on both running and passing game, it's going to be a tough going for May River because Bluffton is so much more versatile than May River is. May River is a great running team.
Oh, I can't
Their
wait.
rushing attack is fantastic.
It's really
but they
good.
don't have a passing game. And that could be a serious problem for them because I know this Bluffton team actually does decently well against the pass. They're not terrible against
they're definitely not
the pass. Excuse me, the run. They've had their struggles, against Hampton County earlier in the year when it came to running. They did have some struggles, but granted, we're talking about Singletary and Richter. So I'm intrigued to see how May River does because I think if they can't get that running game going, it's gonna be a struggle for them. And I don't know, man.
I think they're going to get that run game going, though.
I think they will
do.
too. I think while Bluffton has a good defense, that May River offense, when it comes to rushing attack, is I would agree, Kevin. I really do think they're one of the best rushing teams in 4A. There's a reason why they're ranked in the top 10, and that's one of the reasons is because they got one of the best rushing attacks in the state, if not the best rushing attack in Lower State. So, I'm
glad I don't have to pick the game.
I know. I'm sure you are. Field goal for the Jets. They extend their lead, by the way. Oh, no, it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown.
I was gremlining. Yeah, it's a Devontae Adams touchdown.
Yes, he's on my fantasy team. Yes, thank you, Devontae. Thank you. Goodbye.
The trade acquisition from the Oakland. I said Oakland. I did the same thing you did.
Got you.
Las Vegas Raiders.
That gets me closer to hitting some parlays.
There we go.
I don't know who to choose. I don't know who to choose.
What I really need is an Aaron Rodgers fumble lost.
Yeah. I really don't know who to choose in this game. Oh my gosh.
Jets.
This is so difficult. I don't know who to choose in this game.
The Bluffton May River game? It's crazy hard.
Yeah.
This is one of the tightest games for me this season.
I will go back to what Kevin Libby said, which is the we will see component is for real. Because it really is a lot of pretty even matchups, and it's just a question of who out executes the other in each of those matchups.
I also said this. It's pure survival of the fittest.
Yep. It's that. That's true.
Throwing out Charles Darwin.
Is anyone ready to make a pick?
No.
Marcus will be abstaining. So
I can't. Come on, fellas.
Thanks, Marcus. Golly.
I have my pick, but if you want to go ahead, Max, and
no, go, Wes. Go.
He's contemplating.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on, guys.
Yeah. So I will say that first and foremost, this is the game of the year, most likely. I mean, I know Hilton Head Bluffton could overtake it, but I just feel like this was the one we were anticipating the most because of how high we were on Bluffton and really how high we were early on the season about May River. Because the way they went out of the gates and just played tremendous defense, but also utilizing that rushing attack to the best ability that we've seen since the Ahmad Green days. It's been the best May River team we've seen in a while. But Bluffton, it's been a up and down season for them, but they're starting to find it now. The Bishop game is disappointing because they didn't play too badly. They just had some miscues along the way and just weren't able to find that execution they needed against. They had a lead in that game too. They let slip away, so that was a tough one to lose. But it shows that they're right there, and they played Bishop England very well. It hurts to see them lose that game, but here's the thing: I'm still not sold about Bluffton's offense, and maybe you have a different opinions on that. To me, well, Carnell Ward's a great player, and he can be a difference maker in this game. If he's out there, he is the best receiver in the area and the best receiver in the Lowco, most talented, and so you have to give him the full credit when he's out there. I think it comes down to that run game. What you mentioned, Holly alongside the blocking, which is going to have to perform well. May River has a little bit more. The defense is where I really am buying for the Sharks. They were dominant against. Now I know they did struggle a bit against Hilton Head, but I thought the pass defense really shined in that matchup with Beaufort's. They have a bunch of guys up front who have been tremendous all year, and I just really like that way May River's defense is playing, and they can grind you down. If the run game they just made it look effortless, and it wasn't just one guy. There were two or three who really stood out for me, and it doesn't matter who you bring out there. If the blocking continues to play at the level that we've seen, and I like the battle in the trenches in favor of the May River Sharks. I think May River is a slight favorite in this game. Bluffton, I'm just still not convinced that Bluffton will pull out a strong performance on a weekly basis. Like, we've seen some good things from Bluffton, but other weeks we haven't. I think May River has been the more consistent team. We know what they can provide: a great ground attack, a stellar defense. It does seem like a more complete football team than Bluffton is right now. I think May River will have their way against Bluffton's defense and find ways to put points on the board. And if you just all you need is a couple stops, if you get that big bingo, big takeaway from Aiden McCarthy, that's really all you need. And I think at home they're going to bring the energy. And I like Richard Bonneville's Sharks to pull off the win. I'm going May River in a say around it could anywhere from a 3 to a 10-point ball.
It's going to be
possibly
very
1
close.
possibly 2, but yeah, it's going to be a great ball game. But I'm going with the Sharks.
Sounds about right to me. Max, you ready? Are you committed?
Yeah, I'm. I like Bluffton in this game.
Okay.
I think their versatility on offense could prove a bit of a struggle if they can play effective, both passing and running, against May River. I think it could, cause some confusion at times for May River. And wear the defense down as the game goes on. If you can get Cordell Hawley and that running game going, and then have that passing game working along with it, I think Bluffton could have a real solid chance of winning this game. The thing for me would be how their defense plays against May River and the Russian attack. I need to see. I need to see what they can do against May River in terms of defense. And so I think, May River's going to, run the ball and run it effectively against Bluffton. But I think Bluffton's passing game and running game, if they both work together well, I think Bluffton has a chance in this game. And I'm going to take that chance, even though I know they're on the road. And it's going to be a heck of an atmosphere tomorrow night when I'm there, along with Marcus Walsh and, Daniel Court and the rest of that WHHI team. I think we're going to see a really good game, and it could go either way. But I think for me, I'm going to take the Bobcats in this one. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to take it, and I think they win this one. But it's going to be a one possession game for me.
This is for you, Libby. Wild card. What happened to the brakes? I cut the brakes. Wild card. My favorite show ever, Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh man,
great show.
But Max is the wild card. He's going out on a limb with Bluffton. I'm with you, Wes. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's the best that both teams have been at the same time in the history of this rivalry, because Bluffton was real good at the start, and then May River got real good, and Bluffton was down. And last year they were competitive, but I think both teams are better this year than what they were last year.
No
and
question.
They're equally as competitive. So I think it's the best matchup we've had in this rivalry by far. And I think it's super intriguing, the contrast in styles. I agree with you completely, Max, that Bluffton's offense is more multidimensional, and I think that will create some concerns for May River. But I do think that they will be able to. I think May River's defense is going to be able to make enough stops when they need to get off the field. And I just am not convinced that Bluffton's defense can consistently get off the field against that May River run game. And they don't throw it a lot, but the threat is there. And what they do is they wait. They're patient. They wait and they suck you in and suck you in and suck you in, and then they pop it over the top. And I just think they understand so well what they want to do, and their kids understand it so well, and they're coached so well to execute it, that I think Bluffton's defense is going to have a hard time just constantly shoring up the holes. I think they're going to have a great game plan to attack it, but I think it's a really competitive game. I'll say, again, 1 to 2 possession game, most likely, but I do think there's a scenario where where May River gets the ball rolling downhill again like they did last week against Buford, and Bluffton just can't stop the bleeding. With that said, Bluffton's offense is never out of it, right? They can always kind of gunsling their way back into it, which is the same way I feel about that BA Thomas Hayward game. I think they're actually mirror images in a lot of way.
Yes.
May River and
I
Thomas
agree.
Hayward are the same team in the matchup, and BA and Bluffton are the same team in the matchup, where everything's kind of got to go their way, but they do have enough juice on offense that they might just outscore them, and they're never out of it. Like they can
Yeah.
keep coming at you. So
I'm
I think they're
intrigued
both
to see-
awesome matchups, but I'll take May River.
I'm intrigued to see how they defend Cardell Warren, because it's not just Cardell Warren that's on that field in terms
No,
of
it's not.
receivers. So they're gonna have to figure out how to hold Cardell Warren and.
Well, they
be able to
know
hold
Carnell really well because he played for them before he played for Bluffton.
That's very true. That's very true.
And
Yeah.
I mean, the game plan on Carnell is
Oh my God.
is double and triple him early and try to get him frustrated and get him out of the game. We all know that. Try to take his head out of the game. Much
along with the
easier said than
ability-
done.
Yeah, without question.
Yep.
Along with the ability too of Tanner Macy, I was going to say, and his ability to run with the
He
football.
still hasn't been pulling it much, and I'm still waiting for that to come.
We
I
might
know
see it
it's
tomorrow.
there.
You never
We
know.
might.
And we're going to have, again, that game. We'll have THABA, and then in between those, we will have Bridge Bowl Take 3. It's going to be a crazy final 3 games that we have on WHHI TV. Do want to make a quick mention that I don't know if any of you guys know Tyler Brown, but he's joining our crew again, working camera. I've done some stuff on location with Tyler over the years. Really looking forward to work with Tyler Brown again tomorrow. He'll be on camera with us at the Bluffton May River game, as a couple of our normal crew are going to be out covering the other game that we'll have with BA and THA again, that we'll broadcast here in just a couple of weeks.
Man, the Jets are going to win this game. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You guys have done a great job this season. You've taken your game to the next level, and I love that that you're streaming the games live too. So
yeah,
that,
it's been awesome.
so we can keep up. So outstanding work, and look forward to seeing y'all's coverage of all these games coming up. We got some huge ones coming up.
Great.
So I guess we've reached the end of the road, boys. Time to bring this thing in for a landing. Thanks to the Lowco Booster Club members. Support them if you can. We got Court Lifestyle Pros, our friends Daniel and Debbie Corder with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations, our friends Bill and Mandy Arnold, are out there on Argent Boulevard. They got promotional items, custom apparel, custom gift baskets, and much more. Go check them out and see what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop, a place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for the conversation. Come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus with Curry Kirkpatrick, Rich Basirico, and Bob Stevens. Check it out on the Lowco Media Network, and get over to Hudson's for some of the best seafood, cocktails, and sunsets on Hilton Head Island. And if you're hungry or thirsty out in the Lowco frontier out near Hampton, pop into Hurricane Sports Cafe. Say hi to our friends out there. Tell them Lowco sent you, and get you something good to eat and a cold beverage. Parting thoughts, gentlemen, before we go off into the night?
We're already up to 2 hours. But I'll do a quick one.
Yeah, I've got a quick one too.
I gotta get something to eat before bed. But I will say that I had one lined up. I'm trying to think about one. We kind of talked about it already. Like we did the party, like the World Series thoughts early. We did have another. We had to trade that to the first day of the offseason. Yes. Jorge Soler he traded from the Braves to the Angels. So Soler, who has had a couple of different stints with the
he gets to stamp another team on his passport.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, really.
Yeah, that was surprising to see very early.
I'm just waiting. I'm honestly for the Angels. I'm just waiting for the day Mike Trout says, "Can I leave now?"
Yeah, right.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm wondering when that day will be too.
Anyway, yeah,
I
did see that trade. I think it's the right thing. I think Jorge Soler was never going to be able to compete while he's an outfielder, he's not a great outfielder, and he would have ended up having to compete at the designated hitter spot with Marcell Ozuna. And I think for those reasons that just couldn't keep him on. I think he wouldn't have been able to be used, effectively. Right. And he's a good player, so I think he'll do well.
He was a mid-season acquisition to cover for injuries, right? So they didn't really. He wasn't part of the long-range plans anyway.
So I wish them all the best in LA, but God, I would hope the Angels figure out something because I'm waiting for the day Mike Trout just says, "Yeah, get me out of here."
Yeah.
Anyway, not only do we have high school football on Friday, we have some big college football games on Saturday, including a big one. The number 4 Ohio State will be traveling.
Why
to Happy
is
Valley
that a noon kickoff?
Number 3.
Why is that a noon kickoff?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a noon kickoff game in Happy Valley. That should be a night game. That should be a night game, 100%. Night in Happy Valley.
Yeah, I mean, especially there, that's just another whole level of atmosphere. The whiteout in Penn State.
It makes no sense, Bo.
Why is that? It's all television rights because Fox is the big news
kickoff thing,
and
they
it's either that to be broadcast
with the fact that it was going to be on. It was Big Ten. It was either going to be Fox, CBS, or NBC. And figuring if it was going to be at night, it would be on NBC with Ian Eagle and Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge.
Too many Eagles.
That's right. They're both really good, by the way.
Yeah,
they are.
College basketball as well, but
and then you got Pitt SMU.
That's a big one, by the way.
8 p.m.
And then of course Clemson Louisville.
Clemson at home against Louisville. That should be probably the toughest matchup Clemson has since that Georgia game.
I'm taking.
And not only does Clemson have to play Louisville, but then next Saturday they got to travel to Virginia Tech. That should be an interesting game.
That's always a tough place to play.
Now,
go Xavier Chaplin.
Is there a chance? Well, now Clemson has the one I'm working.
Yes, we talked about this. I know where you're going with this, Wes. Yes. There is a chance for 3 undefeated teams in ACC play. If SMU beats Pittsburgh, there's still a chance.
Oh, SMU, chaos. Rock, paper, scissors?
Please. Please don't. I'd like to see my Clemson Tigers make it to the ACC championship game and hopefully the playoff.
What are the tiebreakers in that sense to determine the 2 teams that make the championship game?
That's a great question because neither team is playing each other. So I have no idea how you would. I guess it would be against opponents that those teams have played.
Fantastic. Let me look up the ACC football tiebreakers.
Please let it.
Let's see.
Please let them not even know what the tiebreaker. Oh shoot, we didn't plan for that.
Yeah, well, that's especially now with more teams involved. Let me see.
Yeah, that's what happens when you end up with a 11-team conference and everybody can't play everybody and.
It's a nightmare. 3 more team tie head-to-head win percentage. Of course, that doesn't matter. All the tied teams are not common opponents. Tied team defeated yet. Because win percentage is all common opponents, but they haven't. That's just. Now I think the one at the bottom is like the tied team with the highest ranking by the team range score marked by. So they have like a metric, if I guess, because I don't think there would be any other. Unless there's a common opponent, if like all the 3 teams had a common opponent, I'm not sure that's the key. Like, I mean, they wouldn't decide it because you're looking at
Kevin says math is for nerds and millionaires.
I may be a nerd, but I am not good at math.
I must be a nerd.
Whoa.
Because I ain't a millionaire.
Yeah, I know my stats, so I'm definitely a nerd because I'm pretty sure I don't have any money right now. So, I think the nerd is probably the better option when it comes to that and what.
But hey, the ACC, I mean, you got to plan for that, especially when these conferences get bigger.
Yeah, well,
might we see like a 14 playoff in the future where we have like a for each of the conferences.
They should get them all together at a neutral site and do the 10-yard fight.
Houston's going for an onside kick here.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
But they will not get it. Devontae Adams recovers it.
He's had a good day.
Yeah.
So the Jets
He's had a very good day.
Nice.
Changing the culture.
The Texans, which is a
there will be no Aaron Rodgers Schadenfreude tonight. There's no joy in Mudville.
Real quick before we get to the 2-hour limit or the 2-hour
there's no. We can go all night if you
2-hour
want.
mark.
I'm just trying to.
the 2-hour mark. Yes.
2-hour warning.
I did want to say that earlier this year I mentioned that the radio voice of the Cleveland Browns, Jim Donovan, was calling it a career with broadcasting for 25 years. He had a very long and extensive battle with leukemia, and so he decided to hang it up at WKYC back in the late spring, early summer, and then into the fall he decided that he could not be the play-by-play voice of the Browns any longer. Well, unfortunately, we lost Jimmy last week, last Saturday, right before the Browns took it to the Baltimore Ravens. I was texting with my buddy Rick Johnson, and he was stunned. And he said, and Rick's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and he said, was this just the same old Browns? I mean, how did they do this? And I said, yeah, I mean, Jameis Winston had a tremendous game. I didn't see any of the game, but he was tremendous. But besides what they did on the field, nothing compared to who they were playing for. That was like their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With the fact that they were playing that game for Jimmy Donovan, who is
get Deshaun Watson out of here, man.
One of the great voices of the NFL. I've said it a lot about just the fact that Cleveland sports have had a lot of heartbreaks. I've seen my share. Of course, I saw the 2016 Cavaliers win the NBA title, which was
going to say. They had
thriller.
You're not even old enough to drive.
No, that was a little bit before I came around. But Jimmy was there from 99 until earlier this year, chronicling and calling it all. And for them to win that game for him, that was their Super Bowl. It was a different team on Sunday. And if they can use that the rest of the way, let alone, Jameis Winston continue to play and continue to play well, because we know Deshaun Watson is out for the year. The Browns may be able to turn some heads. Obviously, they're not playoff bound this year.
Yeah.
But they could play spoiler, and they could be dangerous for some
Look,
teams.
that defense can hunt, and
I
kind of feel like getting Watson and Amari Cooper out of there just got rid of a lot of toxicity, and they're playing free and easy. So I don't know. Yeah, good luck to your Browns. So referring back to something earlier. Wait, you got something?
One more thing.
Jeez Louise. Uh-oh.
Jets beat the Houston Texans 21-13.
You just wanted to play that sound.
Yeah, I did.
You know how to play the sound now, and you wanted to do it.
That was a good one to do it on Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so I got to scroll way back up here and find one of Libby's comments. Oh my gosh, it was way up.
Oh my god!
All right.
I see
Googled
92.
Kornheiser and Maroon and Black without satisfaction. Please educate me. So on the Tony Kornheiser podcast, Tony Kornheiser show, at the end they always play some kind of clip, and most of them are in heavy rotation. They play them over and over again. Two of the favorites are referenced here. One being 5 and 11, not very good. That was when Steve Spurrier said, "Okay, we wound up 5 and 11, not very good, but there was something worse than us." I guess that's one positive way to look at it. We weren't the worst team in the league, so they play that one a lot. And then when Jim Zorn was hired, because Snyder ran out of candidates after a month-long search, he referred to the team's colors as the maroon and black. And they play that one quite a bit as well. And I always get a good kick out of that. Libby did make so many comments tonight. My
Jim
goodness.
Zorn. Wow.
For someone who's too busy to come on this show, Kevin Libby sure does post a lot of comments.
He does. Come on, Kev, get your big.
We love you, Kev. I'm gonna get you on this show for the Loco Hoops Report with me.
Procrastination.
Please,
yes.
You will be on this show. No
we are
doubt.
happy to provide, an outlet to procrastinators every evening here on the Lowco Media Network.
Yes.
And we appreciate Kevin Libby and all the other procrastinators who join us each night to talk local sports. We're going to bring this one in for a landing. Thanks so much to everybody involved. Thanks, Marcus, as always, for joining
Always,
us on
fellas.
Thursday night for the
Love it.
megacast. Over 2 hours tonight. Thanks for staying up late, Wes and Max. I'm just as tired as you are, and I also have to be at work tomorrow. But we thank all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm, and to everybody who showed up to listen or watch or comment. We appreciate you. You're part of the team, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Lowco Pigskin Live, and we'll leave you with this to get you in the mood. For Wes Kerr and Marcus Walsh and Max Araj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco. Good playing.
We're gonna keep holding up the 2 sign.
It's not playing. My thing's janking up, Bo.
Come on.
Somebody else might have to play it.
Hold on. I got it.
Play it for me. Play that beautiful music.
Where is it? Give me a second. You gotta find it. It's not here.
It's wait,
here we go.
I got it.